Hello everyone, welcome to our Timeless Oracle reading. Our Oracle card for today belongs to the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle by Kelly T. Smith. The card for today is entitled Dark Night of the Soul. The handbook that accompanies this card describes the dark night of the soul as a period of confusion, loneliness, and perhaps isolation. In a certain sense, it is true. That's why oftentimes they represent transformation or spiritual ascension with the symbol of a butterfly. Let's try to picture, for example, the transformation of a caterpillar into a butterfly. The caterpillar starts their life just being concerned with their normal living preoccupations. They go about plants, eating one leaf after another in order to gain energy and to grow. And then afterwards being preoccupied. So it's like us also. We start our life oftentimes preoccupied with the affairs of the world. But then there comes a point when the butterfly starts to feel there has to be something more. And so the butterfly takes a pause, goes under a leaf, or maybe attaches himself on a branch or herself on a branch, and then creates a cocoon around himself or herself. And when that cocoon starts to form, darkness sets in. Somehow when we parallel that to our life experience, when the time of the spirit comes, the time of our transformation has arrived, you will feel that there is something missing in your life. There has to be something more. And so you withdraw from the world and from your usual activities because these things no longer gives you passion. They no longer set you on fire. Just like the caterpillar. If before the caterpillar is very much into eating a lot of leaves, there comes a point when they say, I'm tired of eating leaves. I just want to take some time alone. And so they create that pupa. And then there is that feeling of, ungrounded, that feeling of uneasiness. Why? Because the caterpillar is being transformed by the universe, and the transformation is permanent. Once the caterpillar becomes a butterfly, the butterfly can no longer return to be a caterpillar again. So the caterpillar undergoes drastic changes in not only in their spirit, not only in their heart, not only in their mind, but also in their body. Just as a person who undergoes transformation, everything changes, even the cells of the body. That is why oftentimes when we undergo transformation, we no longer want to eat processed food. You find yourself pining for more natural food, and you don't have to exert effort anymore. You find yourself veering towards a healthier lifestyle. You start to be more concerned on being less traumatizing to yourself. You choose a lifestyle that is no longer harmful to your person. And you choose it not with an effort. You do not exert effort. It just comes to you naturally because you are undergoing transformation in all aspects of your being. And oftentimes you are isolated because you no longer go with the herd. You are already listening to a different drummer. And so there will be moments wherein you feel alone. But after the transformation, you will find other people. You will draw to yourself other people who are also undergoing transformation, and you develop a new family, a new tribe. At the same time, with this new tribe, you are also able to help the rest of humanity or the rest of the cosmos. But there will be moments of confusion. There will be moments of loneliness, especially when you no longer are in unison with the direction of the majority, and you are already listening to a different drummer. So there will be a moment when you feel alone. But in those moments of loneliness, especially even your loved ones who try to understand you, sometimes in the dark night of the soul, you find yourself in a lonely place where even the closest to you cannot reach you. In that loneliest of places, there you will discover the sweetness of the divine, the sweetness of your inner world. But then again, just like the caterpillar that has already been transformed into the butterfly, you have to undergo the growing pains. You have to undergo the pain of being rebirthed into the world. Just like a newly formed butterfly has to struggle to get out of the cocoon, you also have to struggle to get out of or to adjust to this new way of living that you have been transformed into. If you, for example, if you see a butterfly trying to get out of the cocoon, if you help that butterfly get out of the cocoon, that butterfly will not be able to develop the necessary muscles in order to allow it to spread its wings and fly. So when you see a butterfly trying to get out of the cocoon, you leave them be. You do not touch them, or else you will deform a potentially beautiful butterfly. When you do not allow the butterfly to get out of the pupa on their own, they will be deformed and they will not develop the necessary muscles to be the beautiful butterfly they are meant to be. So if you are also a guide, somebody who's guiding somebody who's undergoing transformation, you can give advices on what they should do, but you have to allow them to stretch their spiritual muscles. You have to allow them to go through the process, to learn the process on their own. The only thing that we can do is to accompany them, to let them know that they are not alone, that we are just here. But we also have to let them know that they have to undergo the process themselves in order to develop the necessary spiritual, emotional, and mental muscles that will be needed as they embrace this new transformed life that is welcoming them or awaiting them. So we need also to quietly watch and allow them to develop the necessary skills and the necessary spiritual muscles in order for them to be able to really function well in this new life that they have been called to live. So part of the dark night of the soul is the struggle of getting out of that pupa. But it is a necessary thing. It is a very necessary thing, because it will prepare us to the chapter that will unfold after this moment of transformation. Now, the transformation process is a spiral. We will undergo transformation many, many times, and every time we undergo it, we move a little bit higher in the journey that we are undergoing. So let's try to read from the handbook that accompanies this card, so that maybe we can gain more insights regarding the dark night of the soul. You are in the midst of a spiritual awakening. The dark night of the soul is a term used to describe a period of confusion, loneliness, and perhaps isolation. This sounds dark and it feels dark, but the truth is, this period of your soul's development is about spiritual transformation. Your ego and your higher self and your higher consciousness are at war, and the battle is a grueling one. The struggle takes place in uncomfortable territory, a middle ground where you cannot go back to the old ways of being, and you are not ready to progress into the new ways of being either. It may even feel as if you are permanently stuck. Your pain is very present, and no matter what you do, you cannot seem to break free of this mental and emotional prison. This card has arrived today to assure you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Not only will you make it through this dark night, but you will come out of it completely transformed. You will know without a shadow of a doubt who you really are. Your ego is going to step aside and let the real you come forward. And when it does, you will be fully awakened to your true self. Intuitive Life Coaching questions. What is your soul guiding you to change in your life? How are you resisting this guidance? Well, that's it for today. If you are undergoing spiritual transformation right now, I hope that this oracle card has helped you and given you insights in your present situation. Thank you for the likes and comments you've given to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I hope to see you again soon. Until that time, may God continue to bless your ways.